All right, this exercise is dealing with the allowance method, end of year. How do we record the amount of the allowance account? You know, the estimate. How do we come up with the amount we think is now going to be collected? So once again, with the allowance method, every end of year, the accountant has to forecast how much he thinks the amount of bad debt expense will be based on sales revenue earned this year. And there are two methods. I was explaining when I was recording myself doing the presentation for the allowance method that there are two ways of estimating. One of those two methods is called the percentage of sales or percentage of sales on account. And then the other method is the aging. So the very first thing you need to do is when you're trying to solve one problem on the exam or for homework is determine or find out which method are they using. In this specific example right here it says percentage of sales. So they're using the percentage of sales method, which by the way is not the best method of estimating and is the easier method of the two. Okay, so with this method, all we do is we multiply sales by the percentage that they're giving us, and that becomes the amount of the bad debt expense. So in this example, if I'm going to plug in the numbers here, okay, we have how much is the sales? It says here that the total amount of sales is 2,090,000. Okay, so I'm going to plug in, actually I'm going to do it here. Sales are 2,090,000. Three zeros, right? Okay, and what is the percentage? Let me just change this. Yeah. And what is the percentage? Actually, let me put that. Okay, that's fine. Dollar. Okay, so 2,090,000, and the percentage that they're telling us is 1/4 of 1%. So let me just put here 1/4. Oh my God, 1/4. So let's just put 0.25, okay, which is 1/4. Oh my God, let me change that to percentage. Okay, and then let's put here 1%. All right, so and then let's just multiply the amount of sales times the 0.25 or 1/4 times 1%, and that will give me the amount. This will be the amount of bad. Yes, this will be the amount of bad debt expense. Okay, so with this method, the entry will be debit bad debt expense and credit the allowance here for 5,225. Okay, that's the entry. So if you want, I will put here, you know, bad debt expense. Okay, and if this will be, let's just pretend that this is a T account here. All right, so that will mean that I will increase bad debt expense 5,225, and I will credit the allowance. Okay. By the way, the allowance account will have an ending balance. Right, if we're doing an ending balance, the account here will have an ending balance of what? The 5,225 minus this 4,000, the ending balance will be, we do plus minus 4,000. So my ending balance, I will start next year with this amount. So let's see if I already have some of the answers. It says determine the amount of the adjusting entry for uncollectible accounts. Yes, I believe the amount is 5,225, which again is the amount that I take sales times 0.25 or 1/4 times 1%. It gave me 5,225. So that's the amount of the adjusting entry where I increase the expense, credit the allowance. The next question, determine the adjusted balance of accounts receivable, allowance for doubtful accounts, and bad debt expense. Okay, so the bad debt expense, it will be 5,225. That will be the amount, right, for the year, for December 31st. the amount for the allowance for doubtful account. I already did that for you. So we had the 5,225 credit. This is the adjusting entry. With the 4,000 debit, we have an amount here which is 1,225. And then the account receivable, okay, so the account receivable says that we have a balance 465,000. So remember, the account receivable at the end of the year it says a balance, okay, okay. So determine the adjusted, okay, so the account receivable is not asking for the net realizable value. So the account receivable, I'm going to plug in the same 465. Okay, and then the net realizable value, this one, remember the net realizable value is the account receivable minus the allowance account. So since the allowance account has 1,225, I would say that the net realizable value will be $465,000, which is the amount that they're telling me here, account receivable, minus the 1,225. That will give me my net realizable value. So I will put this minus that. Okay, and that will be 463, 775. Okay, so let's see. Perfect. So I did a good job. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so this is the problem dealing with adjusting entry, allowance method, journalizing the bad debt expense using the percentage of sales method. I would like to end this lecture or this exercise by telling you that when we are recording this amount of bad debt expense, we're almost ignoring the fact that the account had $4,000. You notice when the problem said that the account balance for doubtful accounts has a debit balance of 4,000, we pretty much ignore the 4,000 and we simply took the expense based on the percentage, debit and credit. Okay, we did not care that the account had 4,000. When we do the next exercise, which is with the aging process or aging method of coming up with a bad debt expense, we will take into account if the account allowance has a debit or a credit. So we will do that next. Thank you.